Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Podriplegics podcast. Today, we're going to do a quick question and answer roundtable session. Don, Eric, and myself have 20 plus years of living with a disability each. We've been sent some questions and we've seen some questions online. So we're going to go through a few of them. Nothing's off limits for anybody who's listening to this. You can send us questions. We'll try to get to them. And this is something we're going to try to do more often than not. So anyways, here goes the show.
I just want to thank everyone for the thousands of comments that we've had shuttled through our YouTube videos. We have delicately pulled the important ones that we really thought were needed immediate responding to. So
thousands. I mean, most of them said you guys suck, but the other ones are questions.
No, I suppressed all those. All those. Yeah, that's why they're not showing up.
All right.
I mean, you haven't made it until you have haters.
That's right.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, we got serious haters on our site. In fact, most of the comments we got, like I said, I've had to suppress it because I'm trying to get more subscribers, but what are you going to do,
Put the filter on. Yep, that's right.
That's right.
I'm with you. All right, so I'll ask the first one. This one kind of really is a me and Don question. But Eric, feel free to jump in if you want to. Says
you're just gonna throw me to the side, right?
Well, and when I ask the question, you'll figure it out. Smart guy. This is from Greg Tenney. Hey guys and gals, C7 incomplete quad here. Do any of you all use an abdominal binder to help with quad belly and add some support? Don, you want to go answer this one first?
Well, I've never used one myself, but I've always wondered about it because as a C5 quad, I definitely have the belly after 30 some years using a chair. So I really don't know if that would work, but to me, it seems like it might be worth trying. My question would be if it would set off your spasticity, or if maybe that electrical stim might be dangerous especially if you can't feel it. If you don't have
different things here. You're thinking of the stimulation things that you put on, right?
Yeah, that's my idea.
Oh no, this is abdominal binders. So like
like a girdle
you put out you stretch over your stomach to help you to wear all day long. To help you with support.
Like the elastic binder, I wore those the first year after my injury.
Yeah. Did you get any relief from it or anything?
No, that didn't do squat for me. But I was thinking more. Read that again. It sounds to me like it's one of those. They have this electric stim things that's kind of zaps your muscles and keeps them in tone.
I got a friend who actually just tried it. So he tried it on his arm first, and he tried it at level 1, and he was holding like a cup of liquid. He tried at level 1, and he went level 2, level 3. He went to level 6 and just wham, and just like hit himself right in the face with his water.
Yeah.
And then he tried it on his belly though, and he tried it for a little bit, and he really felt his muscles were tired after he tried it for a while. He could feel it.
Yeah. So I'll address each one separately because I have experience with both of these things. So as far as an abdominal binder goes, I wore an abdominal binder for probably about 10 years, 9 or 10 years every day. That was when I intermittent cath. So it was probably 8 years I wore it every day when I did intermittent catheterization, which is, you catheterize every 4 hours or whatever. And I liked it. I thought that it helped me with my posture and of the sorts. And I didn't have a quad belly at all really at the time. I mean, granted I was young, but what are you going to do? But once I got a super pubic put in, I stopped wearing it because it really irritated my bladder where the super pubic, the balloon sits in your bladder. And I stopped wearing it. Now, since then, I have developed a quad belly. Now, I don't know if that is just getting older, posture issues, or whether or not because I was eating 5,000 M&Ms a day for a little while, but who knows what that one was. But I will say that abdominal binders, they do have their place, especially like times I will still wear them at times in which I have congestion or kind of a cold. So that way I can help me with my cough, to get stuff out of my lungs and down in my throat and stuff like that. And I'm thinking about trying to wear it again because I'm in the process of trying to eliminate the quad belly. I'm working on trying to figure that out.
Do you get
So
a skin breakdown with that sort of thing? Because I can imagine that can
yeah.
happen too.
So you have to be careful because it can be put on too tight, right? And then as you when you first get them, they're pretty rigid, and then if you wear them and wash them, they start to get less rigid, and then they can start jabbing into your skin or creating a fold into your skin, which then will leave a mark, which then if you wear it every day in the same spot, can cause issues. Kind of like compression stockings, right? Right there on the dip of your foot. If you wear compression stockings every day that are tight, you can get those lines, the indentations, and it can cause issues. So I would say be careful of both of those things, and also be careful of, if you don't have any feeling of what it could be, it could be pressing down on, if you have a super pubic, could be pressing down on that balloon and all those kind of things. And then you could start getting more, issues with your bladder as far as, the super pubic pressing down on your bladder walls and those things like that. But they do have their place. So I will say, if they work for you, awesome. They don't necessarily work for everybody, but they do have their place. And as far as the stimulation ones go, they have two different kinds. So they have the ones that really can hammer you hard, that are for people who have feeling in that area, like you were saying, Don. If you don't, I do not recommend those. I've tried those, and I injured myself doing it, and I won't go back to that. But I do have ones that I got from when I was in therapy that you put on and you wear when you sleep. So they're very, very low frequency, and you can't feel your muscles contracting, right? But they're having mini contractions, and then the neurons are firing very lightly. Those can be very helpful. I use those on my back, my lower back, when I have really bad pain sometimes, and it helps with allowing me to get support. As you can see, I mean, I'm a full quad, and I can still do things like this, which
Shawn, is that like a garment you put on? Are there electrodes? How does that?
They're electrodes, yeah. So they're like little what do you want, like little plastic tape electrodes that get put on, and then you have to place them on the muscles. So then again, you another thing you have to be careful for, because if you put it in the wrong spot, it could not hit a muscle. It could just be firing electricity to different places. So they have diagrams and all those kind of things, but for somebody who has a very long developed quad belly, you have large deposits of fat in that area. So trying to find the muscle itself and contract the muscle or send the electrical stimulation to that muscle can be difficult. So I would
you're right. My understanding of the quad belly, it's not necessarily fat. You could be skinny as hell and still have a quad belly. It's more like your gut kind of bulges out because there's not the muscles there to hold it in.
I thought that was from drinking beer.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I know a lot of beer drinkers that have the same belly.
A quad and a beer belly at the same time, but
yeah. Well, I think one of the issues is that, like you said, Don, I mean, most quads have it because that's what it is. I mean, it's your intestines not being able to be held in place by abdominal muscles or core muscles, right? But it also, with that comes layers of fat deposits. So like say you're not eating a 1,200 calorie a day diet and you're eating 4,000, 3,000 calorie a day diets, right? Where does the fat go? It's probably going to go to the areas like that. So most people who have quad bellies have some sort of fat deposits around it, for
Especially
sure.
as we age. And
Yeah.
by the way, I'm kind of proud of my quad belly. In fact, I think we should do a calendar, a quad belly calendar.
Look at, I think that's a genius idea.
Yeah, why not?
I got a soft flex with the quad belly for
Yeah.
you. Need it?
Well, I know my belly is substantial as well. People ask me when I'm due, so.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I was looking in the mirror the other day, and I do workout stuff like when I'm getting stretched and stuff, and my quad belly, I was looking at it and I was like, I swear to God, that is a Ninja Turtle's face. It's like a Ninja Turtle. It looks like it shouldn't even be there. Like somebody strapped it on me, like I'm in a movie or something.
Yep, you're Mr. March, Mr.
Oh, Total Recall.
Yes.
All right, well, bring it on. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Quad belly calendar.
I like the quad calendar like that, or just any of it. Like we can.
Yeah, embrace it, right?
Yeah, I'm with it.
I want the seductive poses.
I think we covered that one pretty well. Eric, did you have one you looked up?
You know, I'm looking at this this one, and it's just a comment this guy made, but I think it's a pertinent comment. It's Lawson Nuana, and he goes, every time I'm in the kitchen trying to fry something in this chair, I end up frying my damn face. And you know, that is a real issue, though. I tell you what, I tried frying bacon, and you know, being here in Arizona, if you got the air conditioner on all the time, it's hella expensive. So you know, we keep our air conditioner kind of low. But when you're trying to cook, it's hard to cook with shirts and stuff on. So you know, I'm trying to cook, and man, I get scars from bacon. Bacon scars me.
Yeah, never cook bacon naked.
No, naked bacon cooking is not fun. I tried it once. It's bad. It's bad.
Was there a question with that, or was he bragging?
No, I think he was just expressing his general frustration at frying things and having it just splatter up on his face, because you know, most people when they cook, they're standing. And so, you know, it's going to hit your shirt, it's going to hit your apron, it's going to hit whatever. It's not going to get to your face. But man, when you're cooking at a regular height oven and you're in a chair, I mean, your face is right there next to the bubbling oil. So, you know, it is kind of dangerous, people. I'm just saying. You may want to use that hazmat shield that we use for COVID and just put that sucker on. That probably help, actually. You know, just get the visor thing going, and yeah, you could repel a lot of oil that way.
Yeah, I quit actually cooking. I do prep stuff here and there, but I quit cooking because I got a really, really, really bad burn and scar on the bottom of my hand. Because as I was cooking, I tipped and I had nowhere to put my hands but on the actual stove. So
I've had other people, they'll put a hot pan right on their legs.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard multiple people do that, like where they burn their legs.
I've done it with a plate too, but just a hot plate on your lap. So I use so when I fly, sometimes when I fly, they have these trays, right, that are non-stick, or you know, they're stick but non-slip trays. And they're perfect size for your lap, and everything stays in the right place, because you know, on a plane sometimes it can get bouncy or whatever. I went straight up to one of them the stewardess, and I was like, hey, this tray looks awesome and I could use this for my everyday life. And she goes, here you go, and gave me 3 of them. So I use that. I put everything on that and then set that on my lap, because I have burnt the twig and berries before on a plate.
Ouch.
And even with limited feeling, that sucks.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So don't do it.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
Yeah. And to whoever asked that question, dude, be careful, my man. Be careful. It can get rough. And I hope
What about air frying?
I would be careful taking it out, but you know.
Yeah.
I quit cooking a long time ago as well. I think maybe there's some accessibility features that are available to this guy that he's not aware. Well, he's probably aware of. Some of it is just how much money do you want to spend on making your kitchen accessible, because there's a lot of gadgets and doodads out there that you can do to make your kitchen wheelchair accessible. So
Yeah.
if
And that comes with money, like you said, right down.
if you like to cook, yeah, I mean, you can make a stove that you can roll underneath, or is at the level that works for you, and that way you won't fry your face. Although that kind of sounds tasty to me.
Yeah.
Fried face. That nose is delicious.
Yeah, I'm with you though. Be careful that you don't burn yourself. That's my big concern.
Yeah. All right. I got one right here. If you have another one you want to ask, Eric, or you want me to go?
No, I'm cruising. Yeah, go for it.
All right. Scott Pearly Wright. I said Pearly Whites. Looking for a good mattress. I bought a Sleep Number mattress and I do not like it. Even on its highest setting, it's too soft for me. I paid $3,000 for it. I'm a T1 complete and it is almost impossible to transfer onto. Any suggestions? Well, I have a Sleep by Number mattress and I transfer myself onto it. So I find that to be a little unbelievable that a T1 couldn't do it. But that's just me. But I think mattresses are
Quit bragging.
Did you just throw out the challenge?
I think mattresses are very subjective. I think for me, a Sleep Number is okay. I have a Sleep Number, and I also have at my house in Michigan, I have Posturepedic, like one of those like extra firms. I like the Sleep Number that I can change it if after I transfer, I can make it softer if I want to, or if I can make it harder to help myself move. But again, some people like firm, some people like soft. I've heard good things about the purple mattress, but I don't know. Anybody got anything on this one?
I got a little bit. When I first got married, Lourdes and I, we bought a king size memory foam with a memory foam top, like a really cushy top. And I got in it, and I gotta tell you, it was fantastic. I didn't have any pressure points when laying down. But when I slept, I did not move. I was like in that position for the long haul. And on top of that, when I tried to get out, it was no bueno. I had to use like whatever I could to pull myself around just to move. So yeah,
Too soft is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's too soft. I actually sleep best in a somewhat inclined position. So I like to sleep in like a bean bag or like a love sack. I use a love sack. And a lot of times I'll just sleep there. It's easy. It's on the floor, climb in it. That's right, love sack.
Is that like the Love Shack?
Yeah, but it's in the sack form. Yeah. There's no hot tin roof either.
Love Shack, baby. Love Shack, baby. Love Shack.
You need to bring them on as a spot.
Oh, we need to meme that.
Yeah, that too.
What about you, Don? What do you sleep on?
Well, I thought the whole point of the Sleep Number bed was that you could adjust the softness and the firmness. So can you make it really firm if you want to?
Yeah, but it's still an air mattress. Any way you look at it, even at 100, I get what this guy's saying, right? I understand I understand his point. Because even at 100, it's not like a firm Posturepedic mattress would be, right? It's still an air mattress. It's still blown up and deflated by air. So even at its firmest, it's not like ideal. It's not like transferring onto, say, like what are those tables? Those that we use in therapy. Those
The tilt table kind of thing.
yeah,
The
whatever. You know, those
orthopedic
hard tables with the mats.
Oh, therapy. Yeah, therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What it's not like transferring onto those, not by any means.
Right.
You know, but
I
it's still
use
go ahead.
I use a memory foam mattress now, and it's kind of like a medium, but I don't transfer myself. I use a lift to get into my bed. So, and then like Eric, I have an adjustable bed so that I can tilt my head up a little bit if I want to watch
I thought for a
TV or
second you're gonna say you have a bed that can dump you out.
something.
I thought would be awesome, just be like, "Meep."
That would probably could, yeah.
That'd be fun.
But
Yeah.
so I don't know about mattresses, but I can tell you, I have my bed up against the wall. So I'm laying kind of next to the wall, and I have a grab bar on the wall, just
nice.
about 3 inches above the bed. And I can get my arm underneath that. And using that, I'm able to turn myself at night if I want to. And to me, that makes a big difference for skin care, because that way I'm not always on my back. I can turn to my side. Yeah.
That's
So
genius.
it's
What about your feet in that situation?
Yeah, my feet just kind of follow.
Okay.
If I can get my torso to turn, my feet will just kind of follow. It's
You
hard.
don't ever have issues with your feet like touching each other when, like, say you turn yourself, right? And then your legs kind of, because I know what you mean. I do kind of the same thing, but I use a pillow situation. But when I turn, sometimes my feet will touch each other. You know, like my bottom ankle bone will touch my foot, right? Or inside ankle bone will be touching my foot. And if I sit there for too long, then when I wake up, I'll have a little red mark or something on them.
Wow, interesting. No, I've never had that problem. I don't know if you can feel it, but I can't feel that down there. But I've never had any, knock on wood, issues with, pressure sores or anything like that.
Yeah.
But turning myself as often as possible has been really helpful in keeping my skin integrity.
I agree with that. I think it's important to talk about stuff like this too, because I've always wanted to ask you, and I don't know if we've talked about it before, what like the way you position yourself when you sleep. So you transfer with a Hoyer, right? Like a Hoyer lift. Is it a Hoyer lift or?
I use, it's called a Sure Hands lift, and it's a ceiling mounted lift on a track.
Oh, you got a track system. Nice.
Really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only had that for the past about a year.
That Sure Hands lift.
Yeah,
That Sure Hands lift.
Yeah, they're not cheap, but the nice thing about the Sure Hands is there's no sling involved. Nothing to go underneath you, or it goes under your shoulders, and there's 2 hooks that go under your knees, and then up and over, and then right into bed. So I start out on my back, watch TV for a couple hours or whatever, and then when I'm about to fall asleep, or at least I try to turn myself to either side. Yeah.
Huh. Well, the track system's awesome, by the way. For anybody who doesn't know what that is, look that up, because it's really cool. If you can get one of those set up in your house, it's something I'm looking to do eventually. When I'm, not able to help with transfers myself as much.
That was
go ahead.
That was one of those things I've been wanting to do for years and years, and it just seemed like it was out of my price range, and I finally went ahead and did it. And now I look back and think, one of those, I should have done this 10 years ago or 15 years ago. It's like, it would have made life so much easier.
Yeah.
But
so are you able to use that? I mean, you need assistance to use that, right? Like, but I mean, you still have somebody with you that assists you in getting set up into it, right?
Yeah. I tried to do it independently, and I probably could if I really wanted to. The problem would be, I can get the lift on me and up and over and down into bed. But once I'm in bed, I would still need help getting undressed, getting my clothes off and positioned right, and my night bag plugged in and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, I guess it would defeat the purpose of doing it independently,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with you. I need all that stuff too. So I mean, I was just wondering, even though I'm able to transfer myself from my chair to my bed, when I get into my bed, I can't get my clothes off. I can't get compression stockings on. I can't get them straight. There's nothing worse to me than a pair of crooked pants all day. I mean, I'll cuss a motherfucker out quick for some crooked pants. Sorry, I didn't mean to get it, but I will. I hate it. It drives me nuts.
I'll tell you one thing about that Sure Hands lift that I have. When it lifts me up in the evening and I'm hanging there kind of by my shoulders and my spine straightens out, it's like a chiropractic adjustment. Or, that thing that people use to flip upside down and hang by their
tables?
Yeah.
Inversion tables.
Yes, the inversion. When I'm hanging up there on that Sure Hands lift and my back straightens out for a bit, man, that feels so good. It's pretty amazing. So,
yeah,
I mean, I love this thing and I'm a big proponent of it. So if anybody's thinking about it, feel free to contact me. I can give you the info on how to do that.
Can they contact you at 3 a.m? Are you going to answer?
Yeah, I'm going to forward it to you, Eric, but
yeah, all my phone calls after 2 a.m. are forwarded to your phone number anyways, Eric. So
well played, Eric. Well played.
Yeah, I think it's a cool thing. I know, especially, another one of the questions that we get, or I've seen, or I've got, is if you're going to build a home or you're going to modify a home, what was one thing that you would put? There's some things that you would definitely put in there, and that is one of them. I mean, 100% is a track system, and you can have it running to multiple rooms in your home. It doesn't necessarily just have to run from your bed to your bathroom. It can go from your bed to all the way into your living room where your couch is, or onto your dining table, or wherever the hell you want it to go.
I'm surprised that someone hasn't figured out the remote control, independently wheeled Hoyer lift to bypass the whole track system, just like a power chair Hoyer lift. You know what I mean? I'm surprised someone hasn't done that.
They might have something like that. I know that they have the independently controlled chairs now. So like if after I transfer myself into bed, right, like I can, from my phone or from a controller, I can drive my chair away from the bed and put it over.
Alexa, please place my chair next to the bed.
And then you can drive it over to it. Yeah, you can have that. It ain't cheap. It is not cheap at all, but they have that. So they may have some kind of Hoyer lift situation like that, but I just don't know if there's enough money in it, for them to spend that money to make it and to develop it. Enough money
cool.
To buy it. Yeah.
If you guys want to see something cool, go to Mashables and just Google or just search for wheelchairs. And some of the new designs they're coming out with are really amazing. In the past we've had chairs that can climb steps, but they were always like super clunky or super expensive, or, you needed somebody with you in order to do the stairs. Some of the new designs they're coming out with are, amazing. And you can do it independently, go upstairs. And
I see the one you're talking about.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them now. And a lot of it is student driven, like at universities where they have student design contests. And yeah, pretty amazing.
I think Toyota just did one, or was it Honda or Toyota just did one where they paid, I don't know, it was something like $1 million to the winner of these contests for things like that. And the guy from Arizona people from Arizona actually won it. It was a manual chair, and it weighs, like zero, almost like just a pound or some shit. I don't know.
I would love
crazy.
that.
But yeah, it was something to do with that. So there's stuff out there.
You guys remember what was it, the iBot or?
No. It just happened last year. I don't know. I'll see if I can look at
Right.
it.
I'm just wondering if you guys remember that chair that
Yeah, the iBot. Yeah.
would stand up on 2 wheels and had a gyroscope. It was the guy that did the
Oh, yeah.
Segway. Same,
Yep.
but and the promise was that this could climb stairs. But I test drove one and it was pretty cool. But you needed somebody with you in order to do stairs. I mean, you had to have somebody pretty strong helping get up the stairs or down the stairs. And it wasn't quite what was promised, in my opinion. But I mean, technology has changed quite a bit since then. So,
If they can make robots that they're going to be soldiers, replacement soldiers, which they're doing, they should be able to, like, we should be able to do more in the disability.
well, maybe that's something
Realm.
that anybody watching that's using a chair that has certain, technical abilities, let us know. I mean, there's chairs that balance on 2 wheels. There's chairs that can climb stairs. Chairs that raise you up to a certain height. I mean, that's kind of common now. That was a big deal in the past when I was first injured. It was like, wow, the seat raises up.
I mean, there's so much you can do with that, just having it raise up. I mean, eye contact and
Yeah.
cooking or whatever. I mean, there's so many more things that you have access to. Hey, I did run across one question. I think this would be a pretty simple one, but Krista Jones, she poses a question. She says, an odd question, but has anyone here traveled to Vegas? Her son's a para and planning to go with friends. And she's just looking for feedback on accessibility for Vegas.
All right. Before we get into this, I just did pull this up, and it was the Toyota Mobility Foundation. And they, on September 2020, gave out a winning prize of $1 million. And it was they gave out a total of $4 million for new innovative technologies to do with mobility and stuff of the sort. So if you're looking into it, you can look into it and see the chair that the guy invented and all the different people that were finalists and development grant award winners and stuff like that. So anyways, all right.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Well, Shawn, you go to Vegas all the time, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was going to be a slam dunk question, to be honest with you.
But I was looking this up, and so I didn't hear the whole question. I was looking this up in the process. So read it for me one more time.
Okay, so
We see where my limits are on this.
So Krista Jones, she says she's got a question. She's that mom that has a son who is a T10 para, and they're going to be going to Vegas, and he's going to be going to Vegas with his friends, and she's going to be kind of a hanger-oner, helping around, and she goes, hey, just wondering who's traveled to Vegas and what kind of she wanted feedback on accessibility.
Vegas is actually pretty good with accessibility. All the casinos and everything of the sort are accessible. They have handicap accessible taxis that you can get, and I mean, it's a decent time on a turnaround for that. Sometimes if it's 4 a.m, it may take an hour for that cab to get there, but if it's a regular time of day and they have people working, more people working, you can get cabs pretty easy. I would say one thing to watch out for, and this happened to me multiple times, when you're on a strip, there are only certain locations in which you can cross the road, and not every one of those locations has an elevator that comes up, because it's all done over a bridge system, walkway system now. It's not like it used to be where you could just cross any roads. So there's been multiple times in which I was in a hurry to get somewhere, and I knew how long it was going to take me, and then I got to that elevator, and that elevator was not working. So then you have to go 2 more blocks, 3 more blocks down to the elevator come across, elevator down, and then come 3-4 more blocks the other way. So those are kind of things to watch out for. Watch out for people who don't understand that chairs need curb cuts and they don't, because everybody kind of stands in one spot. So I've learned you just scream at them and tell them to move. Most of them are drunk anyways. They don't give a shit. So you just scream and say, move, get out of my way. Or I don't know. He said it probably in a manual chair. Manual chair is a little bit easier to kind of maneuver.
T10, yeah.
Yeah. Those are a little bit easier to maneuver back and forth, but you're going to have to really not try to get frustrated, because no matter where you go, people do not care if there's a chair there. So they just do whatever they want to do. And so you just try not to get frustrated. And then if you want to go somewhere, say you want to go to a show, or if you want to go to special events, right? Call ahead of time. That's something that I learned too. There's not always accessibility in some of the theater areas, and if there is, it may be limited, right? And there's a substantial amount of elderly people that go there. So accessibility is something that, if it's limited, may be full. And if you're going to go to the clubs, again, you're going to have to scream and you're going to have to yell. I personally, I have headlights on my chair, which helps. But if you don't, I would say bring a flashlight.
What about one of those
Flash it.
what about those red light sail lights? We should get one of those.
Top of your
You
head.
could get one of those too. Yeah, you could. You could definitely do that.
So, Shawn,
Go ahead.
have you ever played, let's face it, sometimes we play the wheelchair card, asking for a little bit of, hey, I know it's sold out, but, I'm a quadriplegic. You got any room for me? Have you ever, I'm sure you've, come on, we've all done that, right?
Oh,
I
never do that.
I got a good story.
Sometimes it works out, right? It never hurts to ask.
So one time we were in Vegas and we wanted to go to a place that was very expensive, and it was always lines to go around it. The name of the place will remain unnamed. It will remain unnamed. But I came up with the idea of, before we go, right? Why don't me and all my friends pack black suits? So that I had them all pack a black suit. And then we called the place beforehand, and they said, hey, the Dutch or Duke or whatever, and the Duchess of this place want to come into this bar. But he's in a wheelchair and we need to have our own security and all this
Nice.
And so they were like, oh, absolutely, 100%, this is super cool. So when we got there, I had my friends get out and go up to the door, and they all had their iPhone earpiece things in. They were like, hey, come on, they're here, we can't.
Eagle has landed.
Yeah. And so we did all of it. We did all of it. And then so they were like, look, we need them to come around the back. We can't have them coming in the front, yada, yada, yada. So we got VIP access all the way through the whole place. Got set up in a table that would have cost thousands of dollars with bottles and everything. And it was all free.
Nice.
Oh my God.
Well done, man.
That was well played.
Yeah.
The wheelchair card. I also pulled the royalty wheelchair card. So
And that's a serious con you're pulling right there.
You're a one-upper, man. You're a one-upper.
Yep.
So what I say for people who are going to Vegas is meant to be, the world is your oyster. Do with it as you please. And so I would say just give it a shot. All they could say is no. I mean, what's the worst they could say? Other times there's been places where they let you in front of all the lines. I mean, I'm a very big proponent of, I don't wait in lines anyways. So, if there's a line and they're not going to let me in, I don't really want to go. So, yeah, one of those things. So I agree with you, Don. I do use that card, and I feel like you can and you should.
I've done the I'm with the band before, and I just kind of roll in and nobody stops me. I'm with the band, just like rolled right past.
Of course, because you got to go in the back door, and that's where the bands come in.
Yeah, right. I'm with the band.
Yep.
See you later, and just got straight in. So
yeah,
Eric,
Disney. I played the card in Disney, man.
Oh yeah.
I went on Space Mountain roller coaster ride. I bet you within an hour I rode it 6 times, and the same people in that line were still there when I was going my 6th time. And I don't think they were very happy with me, to be honest with you. I think they would have killed me had they been given the choice. But boy, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. I got a couple of real choice words for those kind of people if they try to say something to me, so I'm all right with it. You know? I invite that kind of it. I'm one of those I wish a motherfucker would kind of guys. So
let's switch places, right?
yeah.
So just for anyone, there is adult language on here. We normally warn people, but
I think listeners, you probably know that.
Usually Eric.
Yeah, right. I know. I should have said it. I should have said anything. I'm sorry.
Jar.
Yeah. But anyway, so yes, the answer to answer her question, the more you schedule things ahead of time and the more you plan, obviously the easier things will go. But Vegas is a very handicap accessible, friendly kind of place.
Yeah, it really is.
And there's not very many places you can't get in. So if you want to be spontaneous, it's still there.
I mean, usually it's the bathroom that's the issue for accessibility.
Yeah.
And if you call ahead and make sure, and it's an accessible bathroom, and they usually accommodate you. And if you get there and it's not, definitely let them know, because I mean, there are hundreds, thousands of rooms there, and if they can't find an accessible one, there's something wrong. So.
Yeah, I didn't even think about the room thing. Yeah, there's been times where I've been stuck in a bad room situation, but that was merely because I didn't do the work ahead of time that you should have in calling and saying, "Hey, I need an accessible room." You just, "Hey, we're on our way to California. Let's just go to Vegas," and then you're like, "Okay," and then so. That was my fault. I guess you're right. That's a good point to bring up. And then everything that is handicap accessible in their eyes is not handicap accessible maybe to you as well. So you have to ask them about showers. You have to ask them about lips. You have to ask them about doorways if you have a wider chair, those kind of things.
Why don't whoever sent that question in, why don't we meet them for a live podcast in Vegas?
Right? Oh, that would be so fun to do.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'll see him there in about 3 weeks.
All right.
I do have one warning for the manual chair users. If you go to Luxor and you ride in the elevators, those elevators move sideways. And so when you're going, your wheelchair is going to want to head towards one of the walls. I ended up shinning a couple people a couple times because I wasn't bracing my wheels.
That's right. The Luxor is the pyramid.
Yeah, because they go this way, and so you're moving in a direction, and your chair naturally is going to start flowing in that opposite direction.
That's great.
Yeah, I've nailed people in the back of the legs with that. So.
Oops.
Yeah, I mean, you probably apologized. Kenny.
Yeah.
Eric's a nice guy.
Whatever. I am from Minnesota. Minnesota nice. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it just depends on the libations that have gone on during the day during that,
Well, and that's what I'm talking about. Like I had some libations, and that's when I was caught unawares. So it was nice.
Yeah. Also, if you have food issues, you should also you should prepare yourself in advance. Don't eat at the buffets, and don't go to the $4.99 T-bone steak prime rib buffets and think you're not going to have food issues.
All the buffets are shut down right now in Vegas. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know when those are coming back.
I think they should be shut down anyways.
Right?
Yeah.
I guess I saw a special on that one time, and they throw so much food away. But what they do is they recycle it. They take it out to farms and give it to like pig farms and, you know, other places that'll eat the food.
That's good. I hope so.
Oh yeah, the buffets.
Do
Yeah.
you have a favorite hotel in Vegas, or one that
I have I like to stay in a timeshare situation that we have, because I have to be there so often that we have a family timeshare that we share, and so I stay at the Marriott right there off of the Strip. It's part of a timeshare that we have, but I have stayed in New York before. I have stayed in the Hard Rock. We used to stay at the Hard Rock quite often. They're a little bit off the Strip. You have to
right?
realize that. But they have bigger rooms for the same price type of thing. And, I mean, if you got the money, the Bellagio is always fantastic, those
Oh
kind of
yeah,
things.
I
Bellagio's
stayed at the
amazing.
Cosmopolitan. That was amazing.
Yeah.
The Excalibur, which is budget type of stuff, I would not recommend. But
Okay,
no.
but what about Circus Circus? Come on, guys. Circus.
Clowns scare me, so I'll stay far away from that place.
I've never been in the door for that one, and I've been to Vegas a couple times.
Not
Yeah,
a
I
clown.
stayed at the Excalibur one time and I left after about 3 hours. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, the rooms are.
Don't go bottom budget. You're gonna get more for your money at MGM or the Cosmo.
I like MGM.
I liked Paris. I stayed at Paris before too. That was pretty nice. They had really nice rooms and those kind of things.
You know the one? What's that one right next to Luxor? Is that the Mandalorian? No, not the Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian, yeah.
No. But it's the one that has. It's the one that has the sharks. The Shark Reef.
That's the MGM Grand.
Is that the?
No, that's
Grand?
one with the tigers. That's the one with the tigers. The sharks. I don't know.
I don't know. Anyways, it's right
So
next
many.
to Luxor. I've wanted to go to that one. I thought that would be good. Oh, Mandalay Bay.
Mandalay Bay. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that would be a good one.
They got a really, really nice suite there. I mean, if you're going with multiple people, if you have like a 6, 7 person group, that's another thing I would suggest is to look into the suites. Like they're not all that expensive if you're splitting it between 6 and 7 people. Instead of getting 3 rooms or 2 rooms or 3, you all just pitch in and you get. You can even get like the Real World suite. We stayed in that one time, and it has the confessional booth in there from the show, The Real World.
Really?
You go in there and do confessionals, and they give you like a DVD afterwards. It's awesome. Yeah.
All right,
You'd be
Vegas show.
surprised. Those are only a couple
Vegas
$100 a night. So, yeah.
Wow. Sounds fun.
Yeah. Any other questions, Eric? Or?
I have one more, and I think we probably should call it, or unless Eric has one or anybody else has one.
No, I ran out.
I don't think this one is going to take too long. It says, this may be a dumb question, but can you insure your wheelchair?
Well, no dumb questions.
Does that fall under renter's insurance in your home?
Under a lot of different insurance policies, yes.
Yeah, your car insurance when you're in the car, homeowner's insurance when you're in the home, but like individual, that I think you should be able to. You should be able to insure your chair. I mean that you can insure a keyboard, you can insure a guitar, you can insure anything. So you should be able to insure.
I guess the question: insure it from what? Like if it's stolen or if it just breaks down? Like if your chair breaks down, insurance is not going to cover it. But if it's stolen or damaged from flooding or a fire, I would think it'd be covered under your homeowners.
The short answer to this question is yes, you can insure anything. Jennifer Lopez has an insurance policy on her ass. So what I'm trying to say is yes. Now, the question is whether or not you can get somebody to build the insurance policy that you want and the protections that you want over that chair for the reasons in which you think it would be. Like Don was saying, to insure it for mechanical breakdowns, I don't think it would be worth your money. I'm sure somebody would do it, but I don't think it would be worth your money. And then as far as insuring it for other things, most of that would fall under multiple other insurances that you may have, unless you drive off the side of a bridge or something. I don't know. Then you're kind of screwed anyways. But
Belmont and Louisa.
yeah, I would not recommend doing that by any
Nope.
means. But
Nope, this is not recommendations.
no. I've never insured my chair. I have chairs that are very, very expensive chairs and cost a lot of money to fix. I've never insured it. Just didn't think it was worth it. But I don't know about you guys.
Also, I mean, if you make a claim against an insurance company, your rates can rise as well. So that's something to keep in mind. Somebody steals your wheelchair and you claim that, your rate's probably going to rise.
Yeah. And if they steal it, like you said, in your home, and you have have renter's insurance or homeowner's insurance policies, all you need is a reasonable quote for the value of what it was, and outside of your deductible, you should get that back anyway. So,
I know someone that actually he was on the news. Someone in the light rail actually stole his wheelchair.
Wow.
Yeah, knocked him out and stole it.
Yeah.
So
I've had it threatened, but never actually happened. So
wow. We were lucky because at the organization here we had a chair that worked for him, so that we were able to give it to him to get him up and going right away. But still,
yeah, Eric, that's a good point. I think people should realize that if they're in a bind and they need a chair, we get stuff donated to us all the time at the Spinal Cord Association.
Oh yeah,
and the Paralyzed Veterans of Arizona.
Yeah, they're awesome. And then there's, what's the other one? Independent Living. It's an independent living. I forget what the site is called though.
Yeah, AT Exchange. But
yeah,
wherever you live, look into your local organizations, your Center for Independent Living, and see if they have something you can use in the temporary stage, or, they may have something that they can just give you if your insurance doesn't cover it. Then.
And PVA, you don't have to be a veteran. You can go there as a civilian to PVA, Paralyzed Veterans of America. You can go there as a civilian, and let's say, you need a wheelchair. If they got it, they'll either give it to you or they'll ask for a small donation.
I mean, and we understand that your chair has to fit you properly and be, what you need as far as a chair goes. But if you need something just temporarily or in an emergency situation, reach out to these organizations, because I know where I work at Ability 360, we get stuff donated to us all the time.
Shout out to one of our last guests, Eric, who was just on talking about this.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, Gordon
Moy, Mr. Gordon Moy, the Rastafarian himself.
PVA. That's right.
Shout out to Gordon Moy, who was on here, gave everybody that information. If you listen, if you didn't, go back and listen, because he had a lot of very interesting things to say, very helpful things to say for people who are in need of things, anything that has to do with your disability.
Oh,
it has to do with your disability. Eric.
I'd like to put out a challenge. I want somebody to post a question that'll make Shawn blush. So if you can make Shawn's face turn red from a question, I don't know. We should have some sort of a prize, Eric.
I think there's a T-shirt sitting right next to you. There's your prize right there. Yeah. Show it. Put it up there.
All right, I'll bring that up. This is our friend Mark Strohmeyer sent this.
Again, a shout out to another guest that we had on our show.
Yeah.
We're just hitting the guests today.
Yeah. Shout out to what is it? The something Eagles, yada yada yada, whatever you said yesterday.
Oh, the Fraternal Order of the Eagles. Yes, they're looking to help with some of their donations to help get them up and going. So yeah, I'm really excited that they approached us and are willing to see what they can do. So We don't know what yet, but you know what? They're a great organization, and you know, they believe in helping out people who have spinal cord injuries through education and equipment, donation, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Shout out to the Illuminati. Yeah, for sure.
What? Oh my God.
Secret handshake. I can't do it. My hands don't work though.
Yeah, right. How do you get past the
They
handshake?
don't let us in, my man. They won't let us in.
Yeah,
We can't do it.
Right.
Well, look, I'm telling you, we appreciate all the questions. Everybody keep asking them. And keep post anything you got. If you have a question that can make me blush, you get a T-shirt out of the deal.
We're gonna have to work at that.
Yeah. So yeah, for sure. You know, we're always open to answering anything. And to the last person, there are no dumb questions. Ask away. If we don't know the answer, we'll try to put resources up underneath whatever it is you're listening, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spotify, and yeah, YouTube, whatever you're listening to.
And those people in Italy, again, peace. Thank you for listening and getting the word around the world.
Yeah, on our England, we have a few in England too, and in London.
Spread the word, people. Spread the word. We would love to have someone as a guest from another country. So if you know, if anyone, if you're still listening, you obviously like what you're listening to. And if you would like to be a guest, make a comment. Say, I'm interested. Here's my situation. You don't have to give everything. You just say, reach out to me. Let me know. You know what? We would love to have you. We're about awareness. We're about letting people know that, you know, having a disability, we can have regular lives, extraordinary lives. We can have whatever life we want. And I want to talk to everyone, anyone in the world. And
you could win a date with Shawn, this guy over here.
Oh yeah, maybe we'll get him to blush that way.
With Shawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with the last statement.
No, I think that's a great idea, Shawn.
Hey,
think of the promotion.
Right. I'm an equal opportunity dater. Yeah. So, anyways, like we said, thank you everybody for your questions and support. We'll be back next week or the week after. We have some guests coming up. So if you have any questions that you want or people you want to see on here or anything, send them to us. Let us know. Yep. We plan on doing this for a while. So
yeah, even if you want to slam us, I mean, I may suppress a comment, but do it.
Bring it.
Bring it.
Don's the one who answers them, so they'll probably be all super nice.
If you ever see one of us show up and we're crying, that's probably because of those comments. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And for everybody who didn't notice, we do have a danger zone sighting in here. We have a danger zone sighting. So if you see Kenny anywhere, let him know.
Yeah.
Highway to the danger zone.
To the danger zone.
Yeah, if we get Kenny Loggins on here for some damn reason, that would be awesome.
I mean, I don't know if we'd be able to tell the difference.
Oh, we would.
We'd have to constantly tell our listeners. But anyways, right. We're dragging, so we're out. We're out, guys. We'll see you guys next week or the week after. Peace.
Peace out.